Yo, what's going on, y'all? Today, I want to drop some reality on you guys. Healthcare. It's the big topic of discussion these days. You know, the Senate just passed the healthcare reform bill, and everybody's talking about healthcare. So I thought I'd join into this discussion, but I don't really want to get into the politics of it all because that just wouldn't be a good idea here on YouTube and whatnot. But I just want to give my take on what healthcare should be all about, because we tend to complain about it all the time. You know, it's not really healthcare, it's sick care. My doctor just wants to give me pills, never wants to look for the root cause of my problems, things like that. People hate their doctors. And I don't hate doctors. There's probably a time when I did, but no longer do I have such dislike for doctors because I understand them a lot better. I understand the medical system a lot better than I used to. And I'll tell you why. Think about this. You go to your doctor's office, and your doctor gives you the exam, and you've got some type of issue going on. The doctor says, you know what, patient? Today I'm having a pill holiday. I'm not writing any prescriptions today for any pharmaceutical drugs or anything like that. I'm actually today going to write on my prescription pad how you can take care of this all by yourself, get to the root cause, and build your body up so we can fight diseases and chaos and disorder going on within your body. So he pulls out his prescription pad and he starts writing. You're like, oh my gosh, today is my lucky day. No pills. Awesome. And so your doctor writes down, I want you to eat a whole foods diet. A whole foods diet that's just right for you. You're like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And he writes down, get rid of all of the processed garbage junk that's in your refrigerator, in your cabinets, at your job. Stop eating it. If it wasn't here 10,000 years ago, don't eat it. I can probably do that. The doctor says, you also want to make sure you stay hydrated. You want to drink, at least half your body weight in ounces of water. And if you're drinking caffeine and juices and sodas and whatnot, coffee, you definitely want to drink more. If you're exercising, you definitely want to drink more as well. And that brings us to, of course, exercise. You want to exercise daily. You want to go for walks. You want to use your muscles. You want to stay strong and have good cardiovascular fitness. And you're like, oh, now you're starting to push it, doc. I don't have time for that. And the doctor says, you know what? You also want to be sure that you get in bed and get to sleep by 10 p.m. just about every day of the week. And you also may want to get up maybe 15 minutes earlier and actually make yourself a breakfast, cook yourself a breakfast that you can actually sit down and eat instead of running out the door with or eating in your car. You might even skip breakfast altogether and then get to your job and have something out the vending machine or have a cup of coffee to get you going. Not a good way to start the day. And the doctor also says, hey, you may want to pack a lunch. Take it to work with you. Take something healthy to work with you instead of going out to eat every day and eating whatever McDonald's or Burger King or some takeout restaurant wants to feed you. Or how about this? Wait. How about you actually schedule some time in the afternoon or about noontime to actually have a lunch? What do you think about that? What if the doctor said, I want you to find out what makes you happy and move toward that. I want you to start thinking about some of these negative thoughts you have and, breaking them down and realizing that they're not true and start having more positive thoughts. I want you to find out what stresses you out and move away from it. Get rid of all that stuff. Get rid of all the negative people, the negative relationships and whatnot. Get that stuff out of your life. If you hate your job, I'm not going to tell you to quit your job these days, but start to prepare yourself for over the next year or two to start looking for a new job. Put away some money. Take some courses. You don't want to be stuck in a job that you don't want to be at for the rest of your life. And so when are you going to change that? And what is all that stress that your job is giving you doing to your body? Can you really heal with all that stress? Just a thought. You may even want to, he writes on your prescription pad, detoxify. Get all this toxic, deadly poison that you've been inhaling and rubbing on your body and taking into your food, get it out. And also, find out where those toxins are coming from and start using some alternative products that are not as toxic. And then he writes down, you may want to take some supplements. And I'm sure everybody goes, oh, he's pitching supplements now, but you may want to take supplements for the nutritional deficiencies that you have now, or for the fact that it's really hard to get all of our nutrition these days from the food because of the way that it's processed and the way that it's grown and whatnot in the terrible depleted soils. And you may want to use some type of supplement for your leaky gut, because leaky gut just tends not to get better on its own, and parasites tend to not just jump out of your body when you tell them to. You know what I mean? And your doctor, at the end, he says to you, I got to tell you a secret. You need some tests, and I don't offer them, and insurance doesn't pay for them. And so you might have to go pay out of pocket for some tests that are actually going to show you what's going on with you so you can fix it. And so you may need an alternative practitioner to help you out with those. And again, insurance doesn't cover it. You're going to have to pay out of pocket, and it may be kind of expensive. So that is what the doctor writes on your prescription pad instead of some pharmaceutical drug. Now, what percentage of that doctor's patients are going to go, yippee, thanks doc, I'm going to take care of this right now? Not too many. Most people are going to look at that and go, doc, you must be out of your mind. I can't do all this. And the doc says, I thought you didn't want drugs. He says, I don't want drugs. Well, what do you want me to do then? Do you want me to lay my hands on you and tell you to get better? It doesn't really work that way. Getting healthy requires hard work. It requires effort. It requires people to stop complaining and start doing. Because if you're not willing to do most, if not all of those things, then you're probably not going to be a healthy person. And your doctor doesn't really have the time to screen and weed out all the people who aren't down to get healthier, because that's not their job. And so we live in the most convenient society in history, and health is not convenient. And we have to kind of come to grips with that. We are living a fantasy of health. And disappointment, which we have now, is what happens when your reality does not match your fantasies. And we are living a fantasy. And so when are we going to break that and stop living that fantasy and start saying, okay, I'm ready to take charge of my health and not rely upon the pill and not complain about things and actually do something. You know what I mean? You can be 35 years old right now and feel horrible. I talk to people like that every day, and I say, hey, how old do you want to be? And they say, I would love to be 100. I would love to be 100. I want to know my great-grandkids. But you know what? That means I got about 24,000 more days on this earth. And so what people need to think is, which of those 24,000 days am I going to choose to actually say, okay, I'm going to take control of my health? Because I'm tired of feeling this way. There's only one way to do it, and I just told you right now. So quit complaining and do. All right? That's just been something on my mind lately. Just thought I'd drop that on you guys. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.